Welcome to today's Practical Planning Tip by ParkBridge Wealth Management. My name is Jonathan Shenkman, and I'm the President and Chief Investment Officer of the firm. Today, I'd like to start a new video series on the topic of how much you should spend on a date. So, in a past life, I was actually a matchmaker, so I appreciate covering this topic. In fact, I used to host and facilitate numerous dating events in the Midtown offices of a previous employer, which was a major Wall Street bank. Unfortunately, once my compliance department found out about these office mingles, they put a stop to it. They claimed it was not relevant to my business activities. Alas, the folks in compliance were sorely mistaken. Not only did I make a shit from these events, but I also picked up a few new clients as well. Despite my background in Shadchanis, I must admit that I'm no expert on today's dating scene. I've been out of the parsha for a long time, and expectations and social etiquette may have changed. When axe throwing has become one of the more popular shidduch date venues, I can admit that I'm out of my depths and a bit old-fashioned in my approach. This still won't stop me from offering my opinion, especially on the advice that lies at the intersection of money and dating. So, first, let's discuss investing in a meal. Dining out on first date was never my first choice. It's sometimes quickly apparent that you don't enjoy the other person's company. With a meal, you still need to spend quite a bit of money and time stuck watching this individual eat. It's a suboptimal choice in my view. My first date was typically grabbing a coffee and going for a walk. However, the Torah perspective on sharing a meal is different. In the Jewish world, a meal is far more than eating. It's a sacred act of a connection and holiness that brings close to those who are far, according to the tractate Sanhedrin. Meals are our opportunities to elevate the physical into the spiritual, strengthening bonds and invite the divine presence to the table. In fact, in the book of Ruth, Boaz invites Ruth to eat at his meal, offering her roasted grains and wine vinegar. Yum. This simple act of sharing food marked the start of their bond and eventually leading to marriage. Moshe and Zipporah's courtship also began with breaking bread. They initially met at the well in Midian, where Moshe defended her and her sisters from hostile shepherds. When the daughters told their father Yitro, he asked them, "Where is he? Why did you leave the man? Call him that we may eat bread." Again, breaking bread together led to Moshe and Zipporah's marriage. If you adhere to the philosophy that sharing a meal on a first date is important, then go to a moderately priced restaurant. While going for a walk, getting ice cream, or playing mini golf are all cheaper and perfectly acceptable first date activities, investing $50 for those who can afford it on a meal at a casual restaurant may be a nice and Torah-sanctioned way of getting to know somebody. It worked out for our ancestors and certainly can still work today. Another consideration is your stage of life. One's age, stage of life, and personal financial situation should factor into where you take a date. Two 50-year-old professionals may have more financial flexibility than a bacher and kollel and a maidel who just graduated from seminary. If someone is financing your lifestyle because you're not yet working, then going out for a meal at the fanciest steak restaurant in town may be rude to your financial backers, financially imprudent for you, and may set unrealistic financial expectations for the other party. Your spending on a date should be based on what you can afford. Two people can go on a lovely date at all levels of wealth. If the other party's not satisfied with how much you've spent, perhaps it's not a suitable shidduch in the first place. In my next video, I'm going to discuss two more factors when it comes to financial aspects of dating. And with that, I hope you found this practical planning tip helpful. Until next time, stay prudent, practical, and don't forget to plan ahead.